everybody, welcome back to another Sunday with Steve. Today we have something old, something new, something borrowed, a recipe, and the only thing blue is my spatula. Hopefully this food doesn't make us blue. But anyway, we got two things today. We're going to do a dessert and we're going to do a dinner. The dessert is our something new. I told you last week that I had this cake recipe. I saw it and I was trying all week to find ingredients that would allow me to do this sugar-free, or as sugar-free as possible. Unfortunately, not able to do that. And I'll tell you as we go along what the ingredients are. It's a vanilla wafer cake, and I wasn't able to find sugar-free vanilla wafers. A company used to make them, and then we looked it up to see where I could find them, and they've been discontinued. So we'll have to either make our own sugar-free vanilla wafers, or hopefully we can find somebody else who makes them. If you know them, put them in the comments, say, hey, so-and-so sells them, Whole Foods, this one, ShopRite, whatever. So I know where to find them for next time. So anyway, we're going to do the full sugar version, the full version of this, regular version, and my coworkers will benefit from it, because I will do a taste, and then I will bring the rest to work, and they'll all eat it, and they love when I bring stuff to work. Okay, so let's get started on this. Vanilla wafer cake. Okay, I have 2 sticks of softened butter, and as usual, we're going to cream our butter and our sugar together. So 2 sticks of butter and 1 3/4 cups of sugar, regular sugar. Now, I could have subbed my sugar substitute just to cut down on the sugar or whatever, but you know what, why bother? The vanilla wafers, I had to use regular vanilla wafers, and they got sugar in them. The coconut is a sweetened coconut, so it's like, why waste my sugar-free when it's not going to be my sugar substitute when it's not going to be sugar-free? So like I said, I'll just take it to work and they'll enjoy it. So we'll just do it the regular way. So I'm going to cream my butter and sugar, and I'll be back to tell you what next. Okay, next to this, we're going to add, I'm getting out a dish, because I don't want to crack my eggs in here and get a piece of shell on there and have to dig that out, because I suck at cracking eggs, and we've been over this before. So I have to add 6 eggs to my butter and sugar mixture, okay? Okay, I just suck at this. Okay, so one at a time, just incorporate your 6 eggs. Okay, and then once you have that mixed nicely, your eggs, sugar, and butter, you're going to start adding, you're going to alternate. You're going to add a 11-ounce box, or an 11-ounce box, of crushed vanilla wafers, okay? You can do it in a food processor like I did, or you could just dump them all into like a Ziploc bag with a rolling pin and crush them down, okay? But you'll kind of want them to look like breadcrumbs. Okay, and you're just going to do a little bit of this, and then I have a ½ cup of milk. So you're just going to alternate a little bit of milk, a little bit of breadcrumbs, a little cookies, milk, cookies, until it's all incorporated in. This is basically your flour. This is a really weird recipe, because there's no flour added. You don't add any flour to this recipe. I mean, this is kind of it. This is our batter we're making, crushed up cookies and eggs, you know? So, like I said, it's probably going to be a sweet cake, and then there's some other stuff just to add to the sweetness of it. Okay, but it's looking pretty good as far as a batter. I mean, from what I can see here, it looks like a cake batter. You know? So, just finish adding all this in. Okay, and then finally we're going to add 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, we're going to add a cup of chopped pecans, and we have I think it's a 7-ounce bag of sweetened coconut. Now, if you want to use the unsweetened, just so it's not as sweet, I guess you can do that. But I figured this is what it called for. Let's give it a shot. Okay, so I'm just going to add that in there. Let that all mix together, and that's it. I mean, 8 ingredients, and you got this great cake, or hopefully a great cake. Now, we're doing it in a butt pan, which I generously sprayed with. I highly recommend this product, Pam, but the baking one that has the flour in it, this stuff works amazing. Nothing sticks with that. Okay? So we're going to put this into a 350 oven, and we're going to bake this for about 60 to 70 minutes. I mean, the cookies are cooked already. They're baked already, so I don't know. You just gotta wing it and do what it says and hope that it comes out all right. So an hour. I'd say an hour is fine. It said 60 to 70 minutes, but I say an hour, okay? So let me just show you what our batter looks like before I put this in so you can see. Plus I always want to scrape the bowl to make sure that you don't have clumps of something on the bottom of the bowl that didn't mix in. You know, it happens. You know, whether it be cookies or a clump of the dry cookies or the butter or something. Okay, but no, looks really good, looks really mixed together. Looks like a regular cake dough. So, cake batter. So now we're just going to put this into our bundt pan here as evenly as possible. And then we're going to pop it in the oven. Okay, 350 at 1 hour. We'll see you when this thing comes out. In the meantime, we'll get started on our dinner, which is our something old. It's a classic, okay? Be right back. Okay, so let's start our dinner. We're doing the classic chicken Marsala. Love this dish. Love it, love it, love it. You gotta love mushrooms to love this dish because it's Marsala wine and mushrooms. I mean, that's what it is. Now, one of the viewers of my show, Mike, hey Mike, requested this one, so I will love to do a request if I can. He said it's one of his favorite dishes. He likes it over linguine, but he's carb challenged like we are, so we have to watch. So we're going to do linguine, but we're going to do it as soon as I can find it. Wait. Ah. I knew it was somewhere. This is that pasta that I've been using. It's Dreamfields, it's called. Works great for us. It's lower carbs because it's digestible carbs or something like that. Don't ask me to explain it, I don't know. But I don't get blood sugar spikes from this, so this is a fantastic product to use, this Dreamfields pasta. So we're going to do this over that. Now, the other thing, he asked me if I've made it a bunch of times, and he said, I'd like to see how you do it. Well, this isn't the way I usually do it. Because I researched and I wanted to try something different. You know, there's always better recipes out there and better things to try, you know. So be adventurous and try. So this one, 1/4 cup of olive oil. Let me get my pan going here. Make sure my fire's on. Yep. Okay. We're just going to heat up about 1/4 cup of olive oil. This one I found, I just thought it was really interesting because it has a couple really strange ingredients in this thing. So while my olive oil is heating up, I'll tell you the first one. I spilled some of my flour there. Let me get that out of here. Okay, so the first one of the weird ingredients. You take 1 1/4 cups of Marsala wine. You take 3/4 of a cup of chicken stock, which seems pretty normal so far, right? Well, I don't usually mix them together, first of all, but that's what it's telling me to do. And first of the weird ingredients, it says to add a pack of gelatin. Don't ask me, I don't know. It says it gives it this like restaurant quality sheen to your sauce. Okay, I'm game. I'm willing to try it. I just hope this doesn't turn into some big congealed mess. So what you do is mix those two things together and then sprinkle your gelatin on the top of that. Packet of gelatin, okay? Let's hope this isn't a total mess when we're done. I don't know. So we'll see. That's the first of the weird ingredients, okay? So our olive oil is probably a bit hot now. Let's see. One way to always test is just put a drop of water. And the oxygen makes it go right away, okay? Ah, cake's done. Get that out of the oven. Be right back. I gotta get my cake out of the oven. Okay, cake's out. Looks really dark. We'll see it later. I didn't unmold it. I just took it out, but it looks kind of dark in the pan. I don't know. We'll see what happens. New one today. New stuff. Okay, so anyway, I have some chicken breasts here. My oil's nice and hot. I have some chicken breasts here that I cut this way to cut them in half to make them thin, pounded them down into cutlets. You're just going to dredge this in some plain flour, okay? Regular all-purpose flour. You could use whole wheat flour. I've done that before with the breading thing. And you're just going to start cooking off your chicken, okay? Now, I'm doing a lot here because I want to have leftovers. I have about 5 chicken breasts here that I'm cooking up. So I will do this and brown my chicken, and then I'll be back. Because then when the chicken's all done and we take it out, just brown it all, put it on a separate plate. When that's all done, we're going to use the same pan and all this stuff to make our sauce, okay, our Marsala sauce. In the meantime, I got my pot of hot water going for my pasta, and we'll be back. Okay, so once your chicken's all brown, you just put that on a separate plate. Now, take all your mushrooms right in this same pan, okay? I got a whole mess of them here. Go big on your mushrooms, because mushrooms always shrink down, so you want to make sure you have enough in there. Plus, it's Marsala, and that's really the thing that, you know, makes it as nice, tons of mushrooms. So what I'm using here are sliced white mushrooms. I have cremini mushrooms, lots of creminis, and my favorite shiitake. Okay, so I'm using 3 different kinds of mushrooms here. You can use whatever you like. You can use portobellos if you want. I could have threw some of those in here too, but this is what I got at my farmer's market this morning. So now what you're going to do is just let these kind of sit and cook about 10 minutes or so. If you want to start to brown them, they're going to give off their juices. Don't salt them. Let them do their thing. They're going to wilt down. They're going to give off their juices. Just keep stirring them around. Cook them for about 10 minutes till they get nice and tender and soften down. Okay? Okay, so see, they all wilted down. They're all nice and brown. Now what I'm going to do is take them out of here. Okay, I'm going to put them back in my wiped out clean bowl. Don't put them back in the dirty bowl. Clean bowl. I mean, it's mushrooms anyway. It's not like you had raw chicken in there or something. Okay, so I'm going to take that out. Okay, so there's our empty pan. Now, what we're going to do is take, I have about, get my wooden spoon here. I have about 4 shallots here, minced up, okay? We're going to add that to our pan here. And we're just going to cook down these shallots until they're nice and tender. Just get those going first, and then we'll start adding all this other stuff. So after about a minute or two, a couple minutes, 2-3 minutes of your shallots going, you're going to add 2 nice big cloves of minced up garlic, okay? And you're going to add about a teaspoon of fresh thyme, okay? And we're just going to mix those into there and let that cook just for another minute or 2. We always do the shallots first because they take longer, and you don't want the garlic to burn in the meantime, okay? Because that's not really going to do you your sauce any good. Man, that smells great already. It's that thyme. You get that nice kick of thyme when you throw that in there, okay? So just let that go for about a minute or 2. Okay, and now we're going to add this Marsala wine, chicken stock, gelatin mixture. Making sure that we scrape our pan real good to get all that flavor off the bottom. Okay. And then what I want to do is whisk this to really make sure that we've incorporated that gelatin in here. I don't feel like eating my imagine getting this big thing of gelatin. I know everybody's freaking out about this gelatin thing, I'm sure, because I was too when I read it. I was like, gelatin? What? So anyway, we'll see what happens with this. But now this is all in here. We're going to let this cook and reduce probably about by half. We don't want to reduce it too much because we want to make sure we got enough sauce for all our chicken and our mushrooms and stuff, okay? So just leave that in there. When it starts to get down to that reduced part, I have salt and pepper here. You want to check for salt and pepper. Like I always say, chicken stock usually has a decent amount of sodium in it already. So I always like to wait and see, because sometimes that's enough sodium to salt your dish. We could do a little bit of pepper, I guess. Okay, just to give it a little shot of that. And that's it. We'll be back to finish this thing up. Water's boiling, gotta get my pasta on. Be back. Okay, and then once that's reduced down a little bit, not all the way to the half that you want, but a little bit, we're gonna add our mushrooms back to this, okay? Just to incorporate that flavor into our sauce here. Okay, just stir in those mushrooms. And just let that simmer for a little bit. Again, we're reducing this to about half. It's going to be a really thick, a lot of mushrooms in this sauce, which is awesome. We've reduced that. Now I'm going to just add my last 2 ingredients to the sauce and then get my chicken back in there so I can finish cooking that, making sure that it's cooked all the way through. And it'll flavor the meat and thicken it with the flour that's on the chicken. It'll thicken this a little bit more. Second of our strange ingredients today for this, a teaspoon of soy sauce. Don't ask me, man. So there, you don't need to add salt. There's more salt for you, okay? And 3 tablespoons of butter. Okay, that's what we're doing to just finish off this sauce. Just stir all that in. Okay. I mean, it smells great. It looks great. Maybe this is the best Marsala I'm ever going to have. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But now I'm going to take my chicken and just kind of put my chicken back in there and make sure that it's covered up nicely with the sauce. Just kind of shimmy it all around. See, I got a lot of chicken here, but that's okay because I got a lot of sauce with a lot of mushrooms. So I'm just going, whoops, just throwing that back in there. Hate paper towel that don't rip. And then I'm just going to make sure that everything is in the sauce, nice and covered. Okay, you just kind of move it around, shimmy it around. Don't worry if a piece breaks here and there. It's quite alright. You're going to put this over pasta and cut it up and eat it anyway. Okay, so there you go. This one needs a little bit of sauce on it. There we go. Let's move that around. There you go. Okay, so now I'm just going to turn this down to a low simmer. I should try to get a lot of these mushrooms on the top here. Okay. There we go. Whoops, whoops, making a mess. What else is new? Look at the mess behind me in the sink. Okay, so you just kind of move it around, get all the pieces in there, turn this down to a low simmer, get your color, just let that cover, let that go just for about 10 minutes or so, just to keep it hot. Oh, here's a piece of chicken. Get in there. Just to get it all hot and make sure the chicken's cooked through and everything else, which it will be, okay? Let me get back with my pasta here. We'll be back to plate this up and give it a taste and see, is this weird chicken marsala gonna wow you? I hope so, Mike. I hope you like this one. Give it a try, right? Couldn't hurt. I'll be back. Okay, so there's our pasta. Now, with this pasta too, Mike, just to, if you're going to try it, let me tell you, this pasta says it right on the box. Do not overcook this pasta. I don't know why. I don't know what happens if you do. Maybe it all falls apart. I have no idea. But anyway, with most pastas anyway, I undercook. Whatever the time says, I usually go a minute or 2 under. So this one said 9 minutes, and I went 7. Just because I'd like my pasta to be a little al dente. Plus, we're going to put this sauce. It's still going to cook a little bit as you put sauce on it and stuff like that. Okay, so I'm just going to take a couple pieces of chicken out of here. There you go, a nice piece of chicken on top of our pasta. Okay, nice 2 pieces of chicken. Nice and tender. And then we got to go in there with our ladle and get some of these mushrooms and this great shallot mushroom sauce. Okay, and just put that right over the top of that, like that, because you want some, you know, you want to make sure you got enough sauce on your pasta. Okay? Look at that. Oh, it smells amazing. Okay. Let me do a quick taste test. See if this is like the greatest thing. I don't think the gelatin is going to affect the flavor, because it's just unflavored gelatin. I'm just wondering if it affects the consistency of this sauce, which we'll see tomorrow with our leftovers if it turns into some big congealed mess. But anyway, my other thought was to do risotto today and put this over the risotto, which would probably be amazing. And that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. But Mike wanted low carb because that's what we've been trying to do, the low carb, sugar-free stuff, whatever. So I wanted to tell him about this pasta. Okay, Mike? So there you go about this pasta. Giving you a lot of shout outs today. Let's see what we got as far as flavor on this sauce. I'm not going to necessarily do it with the pasta just yet. Let's just taste this sauce. Really good. Is it the best Marsala? I don't know. I mean, it's very tasty. It's got a great flavor. You taste the Marsala. But it feels like, I don't know. It feels like it needs something. Alright. Well, we tried it. It's still very delicious. It's just, I think mine that I normally make was a little bit better. I usually try to add a little more spices and herbs and seasoning in it. But I wanted to see what theirs was. Alright. Good. Really tasty. We're going to go sit down and eat, and then we'll be back in a little bit. Because we got to do our cake, we got to try our cake, and we got to talk movies. Alrighty? See you in a little bit. It's Game of Thrones night too, so I got to hurry up because Game of Thrones. It's Game of Thrones. Okay, so there is our cake. Cut a little piece out of the cake there. Okay, our bun cake. Look at that. Looks really good, right? It smells fantastic. Let's give this thing a taste and see. Now, we can only have this one little piece, and then we got to take it away and give it away because it's too much sugar for us. But I'm dying to see what this tastes like, and if it's really good, I'm going to try to find a way to sugar-free this thing. Wow. This thing is crazy good. I mean crazy good. And it's no flour, I mean it's those cookies. It's a box of vanilla wafers and some coconut and some eggs. It got a little dark on the outside, but there's really nothing you can do about that because in order for this thing to bake all the way through, because like when I would peek at it, it looked like it was getting a little dark around the edges, but the center circle seemed like it was still very runny and battery-like, you know, so it needed its time to bake completely through. I mean, probably why you use a bun cake for this thing and not a regular cake pan, because that center I don't think would cook all the way through. I don't know. But anyway, I did exactly the hour, and it's a little dark on the outside, but that's okay. The inside's fantastic. It's really super moist. Oh my god. And you got the pecans and everything. This is a winner. Winner, winner. Chicken dinner, which we had too. And that, while I was eating it, I was thinking of, you know, it definitely, I've had better chicken Marsalas, I've made better chicken Marsalas, but the fun in doing this show is trying new things and trying new versions of things. So sometimes you hit them and sometimes you don't. We still enjoyed it. It wasn't that it was bad or it didn't taste good. It tasted great. But it's just you want to be able to, you know, try and experiment. And if you know, find something, sometimes you're going to find one that's even better than you make. Today wasn't the case, but it's alright. It was still delicious. Alrighty, we did it for my friend Mike, who watches the show. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for the comments and the requests. Keep them coming, everybody. Let's talk movies so I can eat my cake. And then Game of Thrones. So what we watched this week, we're still waiting for Birth of a Nation. Hasn't come in yet to the library, so maybe next week we'll get that review in. We're still waiting. Our other movies we watched this week, we watched my favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie, Rear Window. I mean, amazing. Jimmy Stewart, Grace Kelly. Let me just tell you, strikingly, flawlessly beautiful in this. I mean, she's just absolutely drop-dead gorgeous in this movie. And it's so suspenseful. You know, that's the way, you know, that's what I love about Alfred Hitchcock movies, is that you don't need blood and gore and all this stuff. I mean, he is literally the master of suspense, because you're just on the edge of your seat the whole time. And I've seen this one a bunch of times, but still every time I watch it, you know, you're like, oh my god, I can't, you know, you can't wait to see, you know, how it plays out, even though you know how it plays out. Fantastic. If you haven't seen Rear Window, please, by all means, watch Rear Window. Our other movie we watched this week, the classic musical, my favorite musical, West Side Story. amazingly well done. I mean, Jerome Robbins' choreography, and you know, you have Rita Moreno in it, and you have I can't think of everybody. I can't think of the other guy's name. Anyway, great songs, great music, great story. Obviously, it's Romeo and Juliet based. That's kind of the story. You know, the two warring tribes, and the guy from one and the girl from another, and you know the story. Anyway, fantastic. I'm sure you've all seen West Side Story, and if you haven't, you really should. If you're going to pick a musical to watch, that's the one to watch. Don't do Sound of Music. Can't believe we had to watch that one again. Definitely West Side Story. Alrighty, but let me tell you what we're watching this week, and let's get started. Okay, this is going to be a good week because these are two movies that I've never seen. The first one, number 40, counting down, 1959's another Alfred Hitchcock, North by Northwest. I've never seen this movie, so let's see if it can beat Rear Window as my favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie. I don't know. That's going to be a tough one to beat. Plus, I like other Alfred. I like The Birds. I like Psycho. I like, you know, there's so many of the other classics. So let's see if North by Northwest really ranks it, because I didn't like Vertigo. That's one I didn't really care. I mean, not that it was bad. I just didn't really care for Vertigo, and I wonder if that might be coming up, which means I'll have to watch it again. Maybe I'll wind up liking it. Anyway, I'm babbling. And our second movie is number 39, 1965. Never seen it. Dr. Zhivago. Heard a lot about it. It's one of those all-time great movies, they say. I have no idea what it's about, but we're going to find out. So I'm excited. I got two new movies this week that I've never seen, so we'll definitely have a lot to talk about next week, and hopefully Birth of a Nation as well. Alrighty? See you next Sunday, everybody. Enjoy. Make this cake. Killer.